You may be thinking that just because you're an author, you don't have to pay any attention to marketing, and especially not email marketing. Well, you'd be making a huge mistake and leaving a lot of money on the table if you choose to ignore this very powerful way of reaching your readers. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. So let's get into email marketing for authors. What do you need to know? Well, there's a couple of things. Email is still one of the most opened ways that people communicate. When you send somebody an email, now granted they'll open an SMS even before they do that, like a text message coming through, but emails are very high on top of that list of things that we'll do, as opposed to if they send an ad or send something along the lines of in their social media feed or post something on Facebook or Twitter. The probability of your followers seeing that is incredibly small when it comes to email. Email also is a way of building relationships with our readers. So when you're trying to get in touch with your ideal readers, your email is one of the ways that you're able to break through all of the other noise. You have to keep in mind that the average person is being bombarded by so many communication messages at the same time that it becomes difficult to actually hold their focus just for a second in order to establish a dialogue with your ideal reader. And the open rates are so massive on email when people get their emails, unless it's going to the spam folder, which is one of the reasons why we actually don't just send direct emails from our own email address, but we send it from a service that can deliver those emails. The open rates are incredibly high. We just need to make sure it doesn't end in the spam folder, and the only people getting the emails are people who actually requested to get those emails. And the thing is, you are free to contact those people anytime you want. This is known as permission-based marketing because they are giving explicit permission for you to contact them via email to give them messages. And you may be wondering what types of messages you would be sending, and the answer is you'd be sending all sorts of stuff, telling them about your books, the latest books you're working on, telling me about books that you've already come out with. If you're in the nonfiction area, then maybe you're telling about other services and offers that you have related to your primary topic. Now remember, the one key rule with these emails is that we don't jump around from theme to theme that we're hitting through from email to email. It's only going to be one niche that we're targeting. So even if you know a lot about taking care of puppies and you know a lot about gardening, we're not sending gardening and puppy emails to the same list. So we're holding it to one topic, and that topic is the very topic that your readers actually got on your list in the first place for. So if you're sending out emails regarding your romance books, we're not going to be then sending them sci-fi books. This is not a good way to go, because then when they open the email, there's a disappointment and then an unsubscribe and mark you as spam, or maybe just mark you as spam at all. So we want to avoid that happening. It's actually a win-win-win situation for everyone when it comes to email marketing, because they got on the email list for a reason. Usually we're going to give them something for free, a free short story, a free checklist, something free in order to get them on the email list. For me, I use a free checklist. I join people's email lists all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's permission-based. The second a person doesn't want to receive any longer any emails, at the bottom of the email, they just click the unsubscribe button, and they will never hear from you again. In addition, I also will look to see who's not opened an email in the last 6 months or clicked on anything in the last 6 months, and I will just remove them from the list, because I need to ensure that my email list is as clean as possible, and that when people subscribe to my list, that they're actually engaged with the list itself. I do not want people on the email list who get the emails and don't open it. That sends a terrible message to Google and also to your email provider here that you're actually not sending out useful emails, and the goal is, of course, to send out useful emails. Now, you are going to own this list that you're sending out. So if you leave, I'll tell you in a little bit who my recommended email provider is, but no matter who it is, if you for whatever reason violate some terms of agreements or they go bankrupt, you have that list. You can move somewhere else. The same goes if your books are having problems on Amazon or some other site. You can simply take your list and you can directly contact them. You can say, now I'm moving my books here. Now I'm selling them directly on my website. You're able to make contact with your readers without asking for permission. The other thing is you're not going to have a problem with spam folders, with your email ending up in spam, because you're going to be using a high quality, highly recommended service, the one I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. The other thing is when you come out with new books, you're going to be able to tell these readers that are on your list exactly about these books as they're coming out. And that's going to help you build sales. And with those sales, Amazon will see that they should push your books forward to even more people as they're moving forward with this process, which will cause you to get even more sales. And perhaps one of the most important things for authors, it is getting reviews for your books. And there is no easier way to get reviews than to actually have an email list and call people to action. Look, I will give you a free copy of my book in exchange for an honest review of your email. Okay, so these are a lot of the different reasons. And if you had to rank the order of priority when it comes to building an email list, your first priority is getting a book on the market. If you have no book on the market, then there's really nothing to do with the email list. We're going to first get a book onto the market. Once that book is on the market, we want to put a lead generation, or where we're getting them on the email list, putting it right at the beginning of the book, give them something for free in exchange for their email address, and it's already a person who likes your book. Now remember, the free thing that you're giving out to these people, we need to make sure that it's in alignment with our book itself, okay? So it's not something that's completely off. You're not getting a contest to win free iPads, because those people are not going to be your ideal readers, even if they do join your email list. We want to make sure these are actual qualified prospects, people who are really possibly going to purchase your book if in fact you put the thing together and this thing is, for the free thing, is in alignment with the book itself. So they shouldn't be completely different. And this is just something that so many people make a mistake on when they're getting going on their email marketing. So which one do I recommend? I recommend going with ActiveCampaign. This is by far my favorite pick, and you will also see my affiliate link on the top of in the descriptions. So this is by far the best. Now, I have tried MailChimp, and I still have one list on MailChimp, but they restricted in terms of who I could send things to and what types of links you could have, like links to Amazon products and other things like that. They had some problems with that. At the same time, I also tried using Aweber, but I found that it was a little bit clunkier and it was much more difficult to use, and moving the lists around and doing tags and automations was a lot more difficult. But let's get into exactly why ActiveCampaign is such a powerful tool. As an author, the ability to contact your list, your email list of readers on a regular basis, why this is a powerful tool you should definitely consider. One of them is reach. It gives you all sorts of ability, from website tracking to do your email marketing. You're going to be able to break it into segments based upon the types of readers you have. Some will have purchased your book, others may not have purchased your book, and you wish to do some nurturing with them in order to build it up. You can even have your subscription forms right on ActiveCampaign's site. So this is even more important than even setting up your own website, author's website, which I would say is the third most important thing that you should be doing. But your first is getting the book on the market. Then we set up the email list and we put that lead generation at the beginning. And then our next thing is we're going to have the website. But you can use the lead generation, where we get their emails in exchange for something, right on ActiveCampaign itself. And the deliverability is fantastic. If you look at the different email services that are provided, ActiveCampaign scores incredibly high because they have one goal. It is to ensure that their emails do not end up in the spam folder. And they do that by keeping things very clean. So nobody's allowed to send spam from ActiveCampaign. They're tracking closely. And what are we doing with these emails? Well, the answer is we are nurturing our audience. We're going to use marketing automations to ensure if a person clicks here, you can send this email out. If a person goes this way, it'll send a different email out. Based upon which freebie that we're giving out, it may have a different set of emails that can be sent out to them to nurture and build the relationship. For me personally, I want to get on a one-on-one conversation as quickly as possible. And so I do all sorts of stuff in ActiveCampaign in order to do that. And if you join my email list, which you can, just grab my free checklist below, you will very quickly see exactly how this works as you're moving through the process here. I also join people's email list just so I can learn even better how to use these tools as effectively as possible. The other thing is for conversions, where we're able to set up these landing pages, we're able to get people on our email list, and we're able to build the relationship with them on a one-on-one basis where it feels very conversational between us and them, and then we're able to sell them future books that we're coming out with and able to get the reviews that we're going to need. And as we continue to grow things, we can do split testing, trying different emails with different parts of the audience to see which emails get more people to open based on the subject line and all of these other advanced strategies. They're all inside of ActiveCampaign. The other thing is it's completely customizable. So when you send emails out, you can make it so it just automatically chooses the name of the person or which city they live in, these sorts of things. So it makes it a lot more personal when you're sending it out because we can look at the name of the person. That's one of the reasons you'll see I collect the first name. I don't need a person's last name at all. I don't need phone numbers and all of this other stuff. We really just want their first name, their email address, and that's it. In exchange for that, they get something for free. And if you don't want to be on an email list, you should just click the unsubscribe and you're gone. Or don't open email and 6 months later, you'll also be taken off the list. It's nothing personal. It's completely acceptable, but it's just so that you know exactly how this process works. And for authors, this is such an important tool in terms of building the list. The size of the list that you have will directly have an impact on how exactly your sales are going to go on Amazon, especially when it's particularly targeted at that specific niche, not multiple niches. The other thing is the automations, as I was mentioning. And as you can see here, it sort of splits between the two, where you can say, if they do this, then it'll show that this person purchased the book or clicked a link. And it's able to then put even tags on those individuals or wait a period of time and then send another email if a person didn't. The same would be true for the review things. You can set up complete automations, and it's just such a powerful way to make sure that you don't have to personally think through, well, should they get this email next or should they get that email next? You're able to set up an automation so the system can just go by itself. And for the people who just joined your list, they're able at any time to write to you and you can respond back and forth, which is really my ultimate goal. But we continually are putting out regular content and putting out about 2 emails a week, which is the recommended amount. If you can't do that, then 1 email a week. But I would say you have to email at least monthly or else they will mark you as spam and there's really no point. So you definitely want to at least do that. So many people collect emails but then don't know what to do with it. And that's why one of the things I teach my clients in the one-on-one program or in my coaching area, where we get into how to use email as effectively as possible and to set up these forms to give somebody something for free that will make them want to get on your email list. The other thing that you find in ActiveCampaign is the sales automations that helps you sell more, because it's got a full built-in customer relationship management system, a whole CRM system that's built in. So you don't even have to go to your Gmail or whatever to check the emails. You can go back and forth responding right from ActiveCampaign. Such a powerful tool. It also gives you the ability to do following up, asking people, how's it gone since the last time you've done it? Have you checked out my latest book? These sorts of questions you might have on a one-on-one basis with people that have decided to join your email list. And these people will stick with you for a very long time, as long as you continue to provide value. So the other thing I wanted to say is that you're going to see that everything is on it's like an everything package is really what it is. So you've got between the CRM, like we just talked about with the customer management, the integrated embeddable forms where you can choose how the forms exactly look. So you don't even need a website in order to do this lead generation. You've got these pre-built-in automations. They like recipes where you just pull them in and it automatically will link things up and you can test it out. So you don't have to actually figure all this stuff out yourself. And then it's landing pages, which are designed to convert, which are fantastic. It's got built-in Gmail and Outlook connections. You've got fantastic delivery, so it won't end up in the spam folder, as well as the advanced marketing and sales reporting. So you're able to see how are things going from month to month so that you're sure. And maybe one of the most important and underrated things, most unknown things with ActiveCampaign is that they have an entire university, a whole system of courses you can go through that show you how to absolutely get the most out of ActiveCampaign as you're going through it. So as you can see, as we went through all of these things, and I know it's a lot to take, but we're learning. That's the thing with self-publishing made easy now. You're learning one thing at a time, and this is by far the absolute best email marketing program system that I've ever used of all of the different ones that I've used over the years, and this is one that I stand behind. I'm an affiliate of theirs, of course, because I believe so much in the product they have, and I would encourage you check out which pricing scheme that you can even join for free. They have a guarantee on everything. It's a fantastic service. I've been going with them. Anytime I have a question, they answer it, and you can check out right below in the description. You'll find the link, my affiliate link to this specific product. Check out which pricing works best for you, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.